back for another episode. Before we get into what's happening at the moment, we'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has subscribed recently. We're only a little channel and we get quite excited every time we see a new subscriber. We only really set up this channel to let family and friends sort of know what we've been up to and doing, but
it's always good to know that other people appreciate what we see, what we've been. So
yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
So yeah, thank you for that, and we really appreciate anyone who wants to follow along this journey of ours. So yeah, so anyway, we are on our way to Coffin Bay. Finally could get in. It's been booked out for, we've been trying since September to get into Coffin Bay, so we finally got in there. Currently booked in for 5 nights. Not sure how long we'll end up staying there because we don't know really what there is to do, so we'll play it by ear as usual. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing a new area around here. I mean, the Eyre Peninsula just seems to be absolutely fabulous what we've seen so far, and yeah, we'll show you around Coffin Bay once we get there. See you then. Well, hello, we have decided to go for a drive around Coffin Bay today. We did go for a quick drive when the day that we arrived, but it was like 40 up to 45 degrees at one stage, the car said. It was just way too hot to actually get out and do stuff. So anyway, we've come to a lookout. I'll just show you the view from up here. So that's the view from up here, and we'll take some other footage of going through Coffin Bay, the township itself. It's pretty small. There's a couple of takeaway stores and one supermarket that's also a combined petrol station and bottle shop. But yeah, there's not a huge amount of shops here, but we're going to go out to the other side just before the national park, and there's a beach out there that we might go and have a look at. It's going to be about up to 37 today, so we'll go and check out the beach for a swim. See you then. Okay, so we've arrived at the beach that's just before the National Park turn off. We haven't got a National Park pass as yet, so we're not going there, but we're just going for a stroll. The tide is out, the beach goes forever, but we'll show you around.
She's hot down here.
It's getting hot, isn't it?
Yes, it's hot.
Yeah, reflecting off the sand. Ow, yeah, definitely need the thongs on. The sand is very, very hot. But walk out a mile to see what the water is like. Won't film all the way out, but I'll film when we get there. See you in a second. Ooh. So you've made it this far in. I'm still only ankle deep. I think the tide looks like it's starting to turn and come in again, but that's going to be a long time before it gets high enough. I think I have to walk out way further to get deep enough to actually be deep enough for even a sit down swim. But the water's beautiful. But it's kind of it's not sand, it's sort of like clay. It's weird. And there's we've learnt something that see one like there, you might be able to see. The sign said that they call them here mud cockles, but I've only ever known them, like with fishing, as pippies. So there you go, they're mud cockles as well. But here's the view here. Alright, so we've moved on to the Coffin Bay jetty, and it's got some lovely area here that you can sit in a grassed area under trees in the shade, and there's a barbecue area there, playground, and just over here is a couple of swimming pontoons with a slide. You can fish off the pier, jetty, whatever. So this looks like a nice spot to maybe try and have a swim. See how we go. The GoPro was just having a mini meltdown. Anyway, we were going to go for a drive today. Well, we were thinking about it, into the national park here at Coffin Bay, but it's raining. So that's the reality of being on the road full time. You have some plans, and this is actually our last day here in Coffin Bay. We're not going, excuse me, we're not going to extend. We have actually made a booking for this time, well, a week earlier this time next year, to meet up with Chris's family, his sister and brother, and their respective partners. So we have decided that we won't do too much here, we'll save it for when we're with them. But yeah, so reality of
it is
in the caravan.
It is what it is.
Haven't even tried to clean up today. Just, it's one of those days where you just go, ugh. Okay. So yeah, Chris just made a experimental breakfast. Nearly killed us with the Tabasco sauce and the eggs. It's like, oh my god.
It wasn't the Tabasco, it was the salami that I forgot was hot salami.
Oh yeah, well that combined with Tabasco, and I don't really do Tabasco very well, but anyway. So yeah, but
tasted okay.
When I first arrived here, we got all the brochures of the area. There's the York Peninsula and different things that I've been reading. Also, in this caravan park, the grey water just goes onto the ground, and like you have it sitting at a tree or whatever. But we've got a family camped right behind us, and
Which is downhill from us.
Which is downhill, and if I put a load of washing on, it's going to go straight into their camp. And they've got actually kids in tents and swags outside, so I haven't been able, I haven't felt comfortable doing a load of washing since we've been here, so hence, load of washing ready to do when we move on from here. And sticking with the being honest and that reviews of this caravan park, to be honest,
not as comfortable here.
Yeah, the sites are extremely close. There is no like bushes or anything to give you some sense of privacy.
No hedges or anything like that.
Yeah, there's a few trees here and there, but they're not providing any privacy. Literally, you have enough room to put your awning out, and
then you'd be, well, on this site you're literally up against the caravan or whatever, right beside the awning. It's just enough room to extend the awning out, but you'd be touching the caravan, or maybe a foot away at the very most.
And there's not many sites that are actually flat either.
No, it's
all over the shop.
There's nothing wrong with a caravan park per se, but for us,
yeah, and I
suppose we've gotten used to being a bit more spaced out and not as many people.
Yeah, well, that's right. And for me, I suffer from anxiety, and so having all these extra people around it's been a bit difficult for me, to be honest, in these last 5 days. And it didn't help when we first arrived. It was like 41 degrees and you just couldn't do anything in that weather. And then the next day it was like 50 kilometre-hour winds and you couldn't do anything in that either. And then after those 2 days I kind of got into a bit of a funk, and then yesterday we did go for a walk around the... tried to find a beach to swim in because it was hot again, but all the beaches just here in town, they're not mud.
Swimming beaches.
Well, people do, but you have to get over like this thick of cockles walking on those, and I tried bare feet first, and I was going to cut my feet open, and got my shoes, but then I started sinking into the mud, and it was mud.
The best beaches from what we've seen are actually out in the national park.
Yeah.
Because you can forward drive over to the ocean side, whereas here you're in the actual bay area, so it's very tidal.
And the tides
are huge tides, so it goes out miles.
Yeah, but they're actually opposite at the moment. Like the low tide is during the day when you want to go swimming. So high tide was like 1 o'clock in the morning, so we're not going to go swimming then.
But even then, even if the tide's up, you'd be lucky to get up to your knees, unless you walk out probably 400 or 500 metres, maybe even longer.
Yeah. So I think really Coffin Bay, if you've got a boat, like nearly every place here, they've got boats. So if you had that, you would really enjoy yourself, I think. And
you got the oyster tours, but
we'll do that. We're going to wait.
The rest of the family.
Exactly. So so tomorrow we're going to move on. We've managed to get a booking in Port Lincoln, the outskirts of Port Lincoln, North Shields. Shields, yeah.
Adelaide side of Port Lincoln, about 10 minutes out of town. Off after Grant and Mason left back to Melbourne just after Christmas to relax a little bit. We'd been out on the road, travelling all around the Streaky Bay area and all that. We'd covered a lot of kilometres. So I thought we'd just kick back and have a week and a half off of filming. So we're just starting to get back into it now. So hopefully we'll get some more footage when we move and film what we can see around the area. So,
all right, so
keep watching to see what we find.
Exactly. So a bit of an update. We'll see you in Port Lincoln. See you then.
Bye.